Hi everyone, this is Ashley from the Resource Room Teacher. Today I'm doing my first tutorial on how to create social media buttons for your blog. When I first started blogging, I saw all different kinds of social media buttons that were very cute and matched people's blogs, and they had all different fonts and colors, and I always wondered where everyone got them from. I assumed that they either came with the design that someone had purchased for their blog, or maybe you ordered them from a certain website. I wasn't sure. Well, after playing around with the HTML codes and learning more about them and experimenting with PowerPoint, I learned that I can make them myself. So today I want to share with you how to make your own social media buttons for your blog that match the design of your blog. So recently I got a new blog design from Lauren at the First Grade Diaries, and I was very excited and I wanted to make buttons that matched my new blog design. So when she showed me what my blog would look like, I took my button and just copy and pasted it into PowerPoint. So you can see that right here. From there, I'm able to then pull the colors, so I have the exact colors from my blog that I'll use to make the social media buttons. So when you're in PowerPoint, you can go up to shapes, and in shapes you have all different kinds of shapes you may choose from. I chose to do circles, but you could do hearts, you could do clouds, you could do squares, anything you prefer. Those even look like little post-it notes. Anything you prefer and anything that matches your blog. So I chose to do circles. So I'm just going to click on the circle tool. And I just made one, not too big. I'm trying to think of how big they come up on your blog, so I didn't want to make them too big. From there, I took off the shadow. And then I went over to fill color, and I used the pick a color tool. So I used this to go over to my blog button and pick a color straight from my blog. So now my button is exactly the same color and will match my blog once it's up on the blog. Then over here I wanted to make the line on the outside a different color. You can choose not to make it a different color. You can make your circle just one color, or your square, whatever you choose to make. You would do that just by making that line the same exact color as the inside. But for my blog, I chose to make a button that had a line around the outside of the circle. So I could also use the pick a color tool again to make sure that the color matched. So I will pick the green one, and I wanted to be able to see it. I wanted it to be thicker. So I went over to Style and chose this one to make it thicker. So now you have your shape of your button. Now you need to add the text to it. So I use the text box tool, and I just make the text box about the same size as the circle is, just to make sure everything's centered and where I want it to be. Then I went over and chose a font. So this is great because you can use any font that you have on your computer. One of my new favorite fonts is Sweetheart Script. So that's what I chose to make my current blog buttons, my social media buttons with. So from there, let's see, I'll just do Pinterest. I'll make P for Pinterest. And obviously that's not big enough, so I just change the size. And I'll make it bold. So in PowerPoint, usually when you move any kind of shape, it wants to align it in a certain place. And sometimes that frustrates me because I want to move it to a specific place and not exactly where they want to move it. But if you click on the outside of the shape or the text box, you can then use your arrow keys on your keyboard to move it up and down, or side to side. So I'm going to move it right where I think it's about in the center. And there you have your social media button. So now you're going to do this for each one of the social medias that you need. So I made one for Facebook, for Pinterest, for Twitter, Google+, my email, my Teachers Pay Teachers store, and my Teachers Notebook store. After you made one for each of your social medias, then what you're going to do is you need to save your image to your computer. So one mistake I don't want you to make is that when you just click on the outside of this, it looks like you have the entire image highlighted, but really you don't have the text box highlighted. So if you just clicked save right now for this, you would just be saving the circle and not the letter. So to make sure you also save the letter, you need to press shift and then click on the letter. So now you have the text box and the shape. Then what you're going to do is you're just going to right click, or on your Mac, I have a MacBook, so on Macs you press Control and click, and then just go to Save as Picture. Okay, so you'll just go and save each one of these somewhere that you'll remember, maybe to a certain folder, maybe you want to make a buttons folder, just to have them all in the same place. After you've saved every single one of your buttons, you are going to need to upload it to some kind of photo sharing site. I choose to use PhotoBucket because I find it's very easy, so that's the one I'll show you with. So what you're going to do is you'll just go to your, go to your PhotoBucket and click on upload and upload each one of your pictures. So you can see I have all my social media buttons right here. Then from there, what you're going to do is you need to grab the direct link. So you can see there's email and IM, there's direct link, there's HTML code, or there's IMG code, which is your image code. You need to click on, I'll do the Pinterest one since we were looking at Pinterest before. You need to click on the one that says direct link. So you just click in this box and it says copied. So you don't have to worry about right clicking, copying the whole thing. It's copied once you click on it. So then once you have uploaded all these and you want to start using your HTML codes, you're going to grab this code, which is right underneath this tutorial on my page. So don't worry about memorizing this. You can copy and paste it straight from my blog. What you're going to do is you're going to take that direct link that you just grabbed from your PhotoBucket and you're going to paste it right here where the purple is. So you see I already did that. And then you need to get the link to whichever social media that you want to link this picture to. So this is my Pinterest, so I put my Pinterest username there. So it will bring the people right to my Pinterest boards. Okay, so you need to then do this for each one of your social media buttons. So if you have 6 of them, you need 6 different HTML codes set up exactly like this. So maybe one will be for Facebook, one will be for your Twitter account, one will be for your Teachers Pay Teachers store, whichever ones you need. After you've done this for each one of your social media buttons, then what you're going to do is copy and paste the entire thing. So let's say you have 6 of them, you're going to copy and paste them all and head over to your Blogger. So once you've copied them, you're going to go over to your Blogger. Let's go back to the main screen. You'll go over to your Blogger and you're going to find where your blog is and go over here to this drop down menu and click on Layout. Alright, once you're in your layout, you want to add a gadget for HTML or JavaScript. So you click on Add a Gadget, scroll down, and find the HTML/JavaScript one. You'll just click on this little button right here. I'll show you here. You're just going to click on the little button for adding that, and then you're going to copy and paste all of them right into this box. If you want to give it a name, you can write social media, or I think I wrote on mine social butterfly, whichever you prefer. But I'm going to show you where I copy and pasted mine. Mine are over here. Oops, sorry. And here are all my HTML codes for each one of my images. Now to make sure that they worked correctly, once you've copied and pasted all the HTML codes, go over to Rich Text and click on that. From Rich Text, you'll be able to see what exactly the images are going to look like once they're on your blog. And what's good about the rich text is you can also move them around. So if you don't like where this one is, you can switch them. Oops, sorry. You can switch them. Okay, you don't have to go back over to the HTML, and sometimes I get confused when I go over to the HTML. So it's probably easier just to move them on this. So you can move them however you'd like. Oops, this one doesn't want to move. There we go. You can move them however you like. Then once they look good, make sure they look okay, just press Save. Oops, sorry. And then go to Preview and make sure it comes up the way you'd like it. But if you follow these directions, this should work perfectly. Make sure you copy and paste the HTML code exactly from right underneath where this tutorial is on my page. And they'll come up right here, and I would just click on them to make sure all of the links work, because sometimes when you're using all the HTMLs, you might have left out a letter in your link or a period somewhere. Just make sure everything is correct. So I just always go and click on each one and make sure it goes to the right page. Okay, so that's it. That is how you make your own social media buttons. If you have any questions, I would love to hear them. I'd love to help. So anything you need, just let me know. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today, and good luck making your social media buttons. Thanks!